Hello and welcome to this latest instalment of our series on using DAP.LIVE. I'm Mark Robertshaw, the CTO of the DNS Research Federation. I'm delighted to welcome with me today Nathan Allen, my colleague, who is the Principal Software Engineer of DNS Research Federation, who will be talking to us today about how to import data into DAP.LIVE and then use the data you've imported to visualize using our powerful dashboard system to produce representations of data which suit your needs. So over to you, Nathan.
Thank you, Mark. Today, I'm going to be demonstrating how you can import your data into the DAP and how you can visualize it using dashboards. The first thing you'll want to do after you've logged into the DAP is head over to the imported data section. From here, if you click on import data, you'll be presented with a list. In my example, I'm going to import some tabular data. And we're presented with this screen here where you can add columns, you can add rows of data if you wish. I'm actually going to upload a CSV file. So go ahead and click on the upload file. You will then be presented with a pop-up like this where you can select the file in question. You can then select whether the file contains any header rows and see an example of what the data looks like. After clicking Import Data, you will then see your data imported into the system. From here, you'll need to make sure that you've set your data source name and also that one of your columns has been checked as a unique identifier column. Once you've saved your data and exited the screen, you'll be presented with a list of all of your imported data into the system. At any point in time, you can come back here, you can edit the data, and you can go ahead and create queries from your imported data. This is what it looks like when you create a query from your data. You'll see all of your data on the screen, and you'll have all the options and operations available to you that you would elsewhere in the DAP. So you can adjust columns, you can create formulas, you can join in data from the DAP into your own. You can summarize the data, you can perform filters, you can really do anything that you want to with your data at this point. I'm going to move now on to how you can visualize your data using dashboards. So if you click on the dashboards item on the left-hand side and then click on Add New Dashboards, you'll then be presented with your dashboard canvas. From here, you can select the name or title that you want to give to your dashboard. Going along the top to the right, there are some other operations that you can perform. And on the right menu side, you can see the different widgets that you're able to add to your dashboard. To add a new widget, it's as simple as dragging an item onto your canvas. In this case, I'm going to configure a pie chart. So once you've dragged on the pie chart, you can then go ahead and click Configure. You'll then be presented with the option to select which data source you want to use. So in my case, I'm going to use the data that I've just imported, which I named My App Data. You will then see your data presented in tabular form. You can go ahead and perform any other transformations that you wish, such as filtering, joining, and summarizing. Once you've done that, you can then at the bottom of the screen configure the actual item itself. So you can give the widget a title, a description, you can set footer properties, and also configure the chart options itself. From here, you can select which column you want to be the label for the pie chart and which column will be the values. You can also select which color you would like the pie chart to appear in. So once you've done that, when you head back to the dashboard, you'll then see the changes that you've made appear in real time. And from here, you can go ahead and add other items to the dashboard. So I'm going to add a table item to our dashboard now. And you can, if you want to adjust the size of these items or move them around, you can simply drag them. If you want to adjust the size, you click on the little arrows on the bottom right-hand side. Once you've configured the table and selected your data, it will then be presented in a tabular form. And there are some options that you can apply to the data when it's in tabular form. So for each column, you can select how you would like to format that data. In this case, what I would like to do is try and visualize the difference between two columns that we have in this data set. This data set contains the number of visits from 2021 and 2022 for particular apps. To do that, select the column that you wish, select the column format as comparison, and select the column that you wish to compare. After you've done that, the system will automatically compare those two values and present them in a nice readable way. There are other formats that you can apply to columns when using the tabular widget. You can format emails, you can format dates, times, and numbers and currencies, and so on and so forth. So we've now completed the dashboard. This is how it currently looks. Again, you can add more widgets to it if you need to. This, what you're seeing here, is the full screen view. If you wish, you can also enable the dark mode. And if you're going to be displaying this on a large screen in an office environment, you can also set it to refresh every number of minutes. And that concludes today's session on importing data and visualizing it using dashboards.
Thank you very much, Nathan, for that brilliant presentation on how to bring your own data into DAP.LIVE and use our extensive visualization tools to present data in a way that suits your needs. I have just one question for you, which is that you've shown us a really good range of built-in widgets and components you can use to assemble dashboards. But what if there's a need that you have which doesn't quite fit one of the out-of-the-box widgets? Is it possible to customize or create your own widgets to solve that problem?
Yes, it is. There is a widget item called template that when you drag on allows you to add and edit your own HTML, and you can interact with the data, and there's some inline documentation that provides details as to how you can do that. But we'll go into that in more detail in another episode.
That's great. Thank you very much, Nathan, for that excellent presentation on how to use dashboards in our current series of using DAP.LIVE. And thank you all very much for listening today.